I mean, I've had certainly a mixed bag of companies. Now, coming up to this, I've done some projects for larger name companies. I did a project for Microsoft a few years ago. I did a project for some venture capital companies, and those are bigger companies, and they were definitely different than, let's say, the smaller scale companies that I did projects for. The smaller scale companies, it typically, they had a lot of communication. They really wanted to kind of know, okay, if this is a 3-week project, can we meet at this time week 1, this time week 2, this time week 3. Whereas, let's say, with Microsoft, it was a great experience, but at the start of the project, they kind of gave me a rundown. Hey, here's what we're looking for. And then it's a 2-week project. Let's have a quick catch up 12 days from now. If it's all good, we'll call it good then. If not, let's do some touch-ups and then finish it up. As far as the types of projects, I know whether they're data or lead generation type projects, real easy for a company to do, whether, for micro-internships through Parker Dewey. I know those data-oriented jobs, whether they're just looking for a student to extrapolate information or analysis from, or lead generation, obviously that's a sales-oriented position. So maybe they're wanting you to, hey, here's a list of 80 people. Can you call and see if you can connect and update their information? Or if you're updating CRM systems and things like that, if it's those kinds of projects, very easy to push to a micro-internship and get a student, hit the ground running. Not to say that projects different from that are impossible. I think relatively any kind of work could be transformed into a micro-internship. I know if a company is thinking about, hey, is this something we can do? Would it be, budget friendly? Do we have that kind of money to do? Obviously, these are smaller scale projects. So for companies that are thinking, is this something we can do? I say, by all means, there's got to be some kind of project, some kind of work that you could test the water with. Especially at a time like this, a lot of people are sadly out of work. A lot of people are looking for things to do remotely. Certainly, there's been a large push for that. And I'm certain companies out there have work that they're lacking the people to get it done.
Well,
And
so many college students, with campuses being closed, they were working on campus.
they were working,
They were doing different roles on campus, and now it's like that's not even an option.
Oh, yeah, I know many of my peers, whether they worked at the on-campus dining hall or they were an RA in a dorm, or whether they were working a cafe on campus or doing the call center for the alumni on campus. Many of them they just don't have anything to do now. And there's so many students out there looking to do some work. And I promise you, if a company were to come onto your platform and be like, hey, we're going to test the water, here's a simple, $300 lead generation project. Let's see what happens. I am positive they're going to have more than enough people apply to those projects. And before you know it, they find someone who's a good fit, and then they can, maybe do a more long-term thing with them.
Yeah.